Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Learning to trust yourself after dealing with narcissistic abuse, a narcissistic relationship, or a psychopath. Oftentimes people feel so deceived, so duped, so kind of detonated by that exposing of that relationship, or learning that this person is no longer who they thought that they were. That idealized relationship, that knight in shining armor, that princess who you thought was just, an all-out super charm, just the love of your life, who you fell head over heels with, and you realized that you were completely and utterly betrayed down to the bottom of your heart, and you had entrusted them with your life, with your love, with your affection, with your family, with your belongings, with your finances. It can be very devastating, and oftentimes people have a difficult time feeling like they are comfortable learning to trust themselves again. Well, what does it really mean to trust yourself? Trust yourself is an experience of inner knowing. It's a sense of inner acceptance and a sense of being able to give yourself and tuning into yourself and how you really feel about a person or a situation, and not being afraid to give credence and give credit to yourself and how you feel. So if we look at what distrusting oneself is, it's saying that, I've been deceived so many times, I really don't know what's right or wrong anymore. I really don't know what true north is. I really don't know where my compass is. Well, if we look and kind of analyze real quick how we got involved with these people, chances are we were like fools falling in love, rushing in, fools rush in, right? There's a movie called that, and it won't be, probably wasn't the first time, but hopefully it'll be one of the last times where this has occurred, because now you've learned a life lesson. And so it's very important that I talk about in that recovery journal is lessons learned. It's just, we need to take stock of lessons learned, otherwise we're doomed to repeat the whole situation and the scenario again. So you have to recognize the lesson learned. What was the lesson in the situation? Do not have a rebound relationship. Do not fall for someone just because of sex. This is, of course, for people kind of go through these lessons in life, correct? I think there was some interesting there's some interesting advertising on this too. Everything is sex appeal. Everything is made out to be just only this sort of superficial attractiveness, when actual relationships are much more than that. So oftentimes, if we look at advertising and in the media and things like that, so much we're so advertised to attract a member of the opposite sex through just that physical means. So if that was your lesson learned, say, okay, lesson learned. And now how can I go and apply that lesson learned and maybe realize that there's other types of people who I might be attracted to, who I hadn't previously thought of before. Maybe I can be attracted to someone else who is of a different height, or etc., different hair color, whatever it is. I don't have to have this and this type of person as my mate. I can be excited and stimulated with somebody else. So, take count of the lessons learned and realize that you're growing in strength and you're growing in character, and then will come with a sense of inner knowing. In other words, I see the same girl, walking, she's just got a different pair of shoes on. Or I see the same guy coming who I fell in love with before, but he's driving a different car. In other words, it's the same lesson, but in a new person. So, we're doomed to repeat those lessons unless we've learned them. So, give yourself some more time, give yourself some more patience, so that you can learn these lessons and you're not having to repeat them over and over again, which results in the self-regret, the resentment, the feeling like I can't trust myself, because yes, you can. Yes, you can. Think also of the times when you have been able to trust yourself, when you called something what it was, you dealt with it, you accepted it, and you're like, you know what? I was right after all. Give yourself a pat on the back. You were right after all. So these are the situations that I want you to realize and develop that sort of internal trust. and start to practice that and become more aware of it on a daily basis. I know this is kind of esoteric in nature, as I call it, or really it's a self-growth, and this is not always taught in our workplace, it's not always taught in our schools, it's not always taught in our day-to-day life. However, I think it's very important to utilize these sort of tools and sort of active living ideas, because that's how we really grow, and that is really how we become our best. And I've done a lot of study on these lines because there was a need for me. These things were not taught in my family, they were not taught in my school. You know, I was raised to be a successful business owner. You know, in my environment, it's like, well, you know, you might as well, you're going to have to be the head of a company or you're nobody. I mean, it was very much, you know, you were groomed to be a certain type of person, yet there was a lot I felt sort of lacking in this day-to-day sort of, you know, personal growth lessons. So I've developed study and knowledge of this, and really the application in my life, and it really is a discipline. So this discipline of learning to trust, a discipline means to be a disciple of. So to be disciplined in your eating is to be a disciple of good nutrition. To be a disciple of good relationships is to follow good relationship habits, good healthy patterns, and to learn about who is beneficial to us in our life and who is hurtful, and to really take stock of that and notice it. Likewise, I mean, to be a disciple of business, you're going to understand good business practices. So maybe make it a new goal for yourself to become a disciple of trusting yourself. Learn the disciplines of better trusting yourself. Take stock, take awareness, take knowledge, take heed of what is really beneficial to you. Is it maybe more beneficial for me to get up early? Is it maybe beneficial for me to start reading some good books? Is it maybe beneficial for me to go out and change up my exercise a little bit? Is it beneficial for me to become more aware of what I'm eating? And with this, you'll cultivate that self-trust. So trust, learning to trust yourself, having confidence in yourself, and knowing that you can count on your own innate, which means innate meaning growing, it's innate within you, it's part of you, no one can take it away. Your inner trust is something that no one can take away from you. It's something you have to cultivate. And if you've been in a lot of disruptive relationships where you've been taken advantage of, you've maybe shut out that innate voice where you learn to trust yourself and you know what's right for you. So learn to pay attention to these urgings within you, and learn to wake up that stifled voice, and learn to try some new things for you and see what works, see what is bringing you that joy, that strength, that sort of substance in your life where you're really feeling like it's making a difference. And for those things that are truly making a difference in your life, those are your self-trusting moments. So try to increase those in your life on a daily basis so you can enjoy more of those, and calming down, oftentimes slowing down, and realizing that you do have this power to trust yourself and create a better good and a better life. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share, please subscribe for those people in need. And please stay tuned for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.